This is Stay Paid, the marketing podcast that gives listeners a competitive edge to stay motivated, find inspiration, and discover proven real-world tactics from some of the best marketers across the nation.
Welcome to another Silver Dollar episode of Stay Paid. My name is Joshua Stike.
And I'm Luke Akery.
And whether you've been in business for years or you're just getting started, it is vitally important for you to be a recognizable figure in your community. When your neighbors know who you are and what you do, you're much more likely to stay top of mind and close more deals. So today we're going to go over some how hosting local events allows you to network with new leads and stay connected in a meaningful way with your current and past clients. And this topic came up because of some of the events that your brother's been doing.
Yeah,
and we hear top producers all the time talking about.
That's what I was going to say. It's like we've done 400 episodes now. Not all of them have been interviews, maybe 250 or something like that.
Yep.
But all these top producers we're interviewing, the hidden gem in it is they have major success with doing client events.
Yeah, it's like the theme has been two things: referrals and client events.
Yeah, exactly. Which is interesting, but it makes sense, right? We all believe in the relationship. So how do you actually build the relationship? And you don't have to throw super expensive client events. Like I forget who it was that we had on, but they rented a putt-putt course. When I say rented it, they just invited their clients to it, and then they had prizes. I think they said they spent $1,000.
Yeah.
Shannon Gillette, who we talk about a lot, she just crushes it in social. But one of the events she does, which is phenomenal, is she hires a photographer.
This is one of my favorite ideas.
It is
and someone
so
else
good.
Came on the podcast recently. I can't remember the guest name, but they did the same thing.
Yeah, and it was at a park. I can't remember either.
Yeah.
I think it was Garrett Maroon.
Yes,
Garrett
I think you're right.
Maroon, yeah.
Garrett, yeah.
But it's so good because you literally, they come, they get a family portrait. You do it around Thanksgiving, Christmas time. You do it around a time where people naturally want to do it. Fall. And you could, even if you wanted to go the extra mile for your top advocates, print it out for them and frame it for your top core clients and the people who give you referrals, right? So that has been phenomenal. I think of Tony, right, the iguana guy.
Tony Ray Baker.
Yeah, Tony Ray Baker, one of our first original guests. He was fantastic. He's still amazing, right? But he would rent out a hotel room, a lobby at the bar. And he'd invite his clients for drinks at the local hotel bar type. And it was obviously a nice hotel or whatever. And he said it was beautiful. He spent a couple $100. He didn't have to worry about cleaning up. Yeah. He didn't have to worry about any of that. And he got to socialize with his clients. And here's what it triggers. Here's what client events you should do. Reciprocity is everything. Everybody knows that. You get a gift, you want to reciprocate. When people come to your client event, they want to reciprocate.
Yeah.
And it is your opportunity there where you can have them do a couple things, which we can talk about. The main one is referrals. Right?
Yeah.
How can people refer you? But there's other things you can capitalize on as
A
well.
couple other great people that have shared their ideas here on the episode. Tony Ray Baker, you mentioned. He also does a block party every year. So that's a good idea, opportunity to get all the families together. Mark Miner does the golf outing. So he goes to all of his top clients and says, would you like to put a foursome together for a round of golf? And then he goes and greets and meets every client there, treats it as a VIP club. He doesn't play golf, right? So he walks around and actually meets everybody. And I love this one. Bill Good, I had to actually pull this back in some research. He does birthday lunches. And what he does with the birthday lunch is he'll ask his top clients if they'd like to invite 4 or 5 people with them. And he'll take them all out to lunch. And then he gets all of their information and writes them handwritten notes to invite them. And guess what else he does? Puts them on their list.
Dude, well, that touches on the key to client events. Yep. One of the things you have to capitalize on is the follow-up, the touch points it gives you. Right? So if you think about your touch point plan for your database, majority of your deals should come from referral and repeat business. And you are losing out on deals right now. You all know it because there's people you're not keeping in touch with enough. You need 26 plus touch points. Well, 2 of those touch points should be your client events, literally face-to-face type touch points. But you could also then have more touch points added on where you send an invite to the client event. You call them to see if they're coming or thank them for coming.
Send them a calendar invite.
Send them a calendar. After the party happens, guess what? Call the people and thank them for showing up and make sure they had a great time.
Yep.
That right there, you take 1 touch point and you add another 3 on top of it. You got 4 touch points right there for your clients all around this idea of a client event. Then when people come to the event, so my brother threw a Christmas party, he had like 280 people there. So he invited his whole sphere and their plus ones. He had 280 people there dancing. He
the
provided
size of our holiday party.
Oh yeah, it's crazy, man. Right? And like I think he spent like 10 grand maybe 12 grand on the party. I'd have to get the exact budget from it. So it's not cheap.
Now, what
for
does
him.
he do with food? Is he doing like?
So it's like a smaller appetizer type food.
Okay.
Right. So it's not like a sit down.
It's not a meal.
Yeah, it's not a sit down meal. It's more like a buffet type appetizers. Okay, cool. Right. But you don't have to pay for it all.
Okay.
Right. So you can partner up with your title company, your mortgage company, your financial advisor, your insurance company, or if you're an insurance agent, flip that, right? And partner up with all those other people because they want to reach the same people and they will help contribute to your fund to do your client event. You just got to go ask them, right? And get them involved. The other thing he did though, is he has all these people. He takes the time to give a speech to thank them, right? It's a great speech, right? And he not only that, he recognizes, now my brother Steven has a team, right? So he recognizes the top producers on the team.
Okay.
And everybody's clapping for them. Then they also set up places for people to leave them reviews and to refer them clients. Right there was a whole table.
Okay.
They were giving away raffles and stuff like that too. But there was a place where please write us a review on our Google.
Like they would write it?
No. Like Google Business Profile on the iPad.
They
type
go into
idea.
the iPad?
Yeah.
That's
on
awesome.
Zillow, on Facebook, right? And he collects reviews that way as well. And then here's the best part. He has a videographer. So he's taking video there and pictures. So guess what he gets to use? He gets to create now Instagram Reels. He gets to create
the people
posts
that are in there.
on his social media. So this one client event, if done right, can be repurposed into so many different avenues. And he always, he said he already has a couple deals that he's gotten from this Christmas party. And last year he said he got 5 deals, but one was a massive deal from it. Really? So it covers the cost of the party and more, let alone the intangible benefit of going, man, I'm building a relationship with Josh, who's coming to my Christmas party every year. And how long am I going to have Josh as a client? Forever.
Yeah, and think how good the reviews is so smart. Think how good those reviews are going to be whenever you're feeding people and giving them drinks.
Correct.
They're going to be great reviews. Another couple top tips there. We've mentioned a little bit of them, but just kind of wrap them up, is to make sure you're inviting family and friends. So if you're doing client events, don't make it client exclusive. Make sure that you're including the entire family and or friends. Make sure that you're not pitching or selling, right? So your whole point here is just to make friends, right?
Have fun.
It's to get contacts and meet new people. Another really important one is don't spend all of your time with a few people, right? Don't let others monopolize your time. You want to be making as many contacts and speaking to as many people as possible. And then the last one is really just making sure that you're getting that contact information, So, and it doesn't have to be, can I get your business card or can I get your contact? It's, hey, I'd love to get your number. Love to text you for our next party or whatever that whatever that piece of information might be or whatever that reason for getting it is.
You're working when you go to the client event. Have fun, but you're working. It's like the bride and groom going around.
Maximum. No more than 2 drinks.
No more than 2 drinks. Unless you work better on more. No, I'm just kidding. But the bride and groom go around to every table. You got to go around to every table, right? So you have to do that when you're doing these client events. And then remember, right, when you're doing these client events, so much of the key is when you actually follow up.
Yeah.
That's when you ask for the referral. 91% of people will refer you. 11% of people ask. Mm-hmm. Ask for the referral in your follow-up. You don't even have to ask there at the party. Steven has a place to ask, right? But you don't even have to ask at the party. You ask in the follow-up, and you don't use Barb Betts method. You're not asking for the referral. The referral sounds like a sales word. Mm-hmm. The referral sounds like you're asking for something like, give me payment. Yeah. No. You just say, hey, I just want to help as many families as I want. I want that Christmas party to be bigger next year than it was this year. And if I think about the people that I love to work with, that I love being in a relationship with, you're obviously one of them, Josh. I was just wondering, do you have any friends or family that I can connect with, that I love to be a resource with, that you think, you could connect me to?
Yeah.
And it's so amazing because it's framed under what you just did with the party. It's framed
human, not transaction.
Yes. Yeah. I love it.
All right. Thank you so much for listening. Hopefully you got some ideas and get inspired to throw some client events this year. If you haven't already, don't wait till Christmas. You do not have to do this only during the holidays. And in fact, it can pay off more if you do it in those unlikely times of the year where there's not so much other busy stuff going on. If you want to, you can head on over to staypaidpodcast.com for the show notes and the video of this episode. And if you're looking for ways to support the show, there's 2 ways we ask you to do it. Head on over to Apple Podcast, drop us a 5-star review along with a comment. Review us on Spotify as well. And then the best way just to show your support is to share this episode with a friend. Speaking of parties and things like that, how does NASA, do you guys know how NASA organizes a party?
No.
They plan it. All right. If you want to get a hold of me, Luke, you can email us at podcast@remindermedia.com, or you can find us on Instagram where you're at Stay Paid Podcast. For this episode of Stay Paid, I'm Joshua Stike.
Guys, I'm Luke Acree. Your action item is simple. Do a client event for your core advocates, right? Maybe it's that top 25 people. Maybe invite them for drinks at a local hotel, local bar where you're paying for the apps and you're inviting everybody to get together. Take that next step in inviting people to a client event and watch what you get from that. And remember, people want to do business with people they know, like, and trust. How do they know, like, and trust you? They have to have a relationship with you. The difference between top producers and mediocre producers is top producers take action. So take action on that today.